Hello there. It's time for most things Kenobi. I prefer all things Kenobi, but I suppose that's not the Jedi way. As long as it's not all things Anakin.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Most Things Kenobi, a podcast about Obi-Wan Kenobi and all things Star Wars. I'm your host, Lauren.
And I'm your host, Leanne.
And this week, are you cozy and comfortable?
Do you have a tea or a coffee?
I do.
Or some kind of beverage?
In my Luke Skywalker mug, I do.
Look at you! Oh my god, I love that mug. I think you showed me that mug before.
It's so great. It was from Disney.com, and they had a Luke Skywalker mug, and they never have Luke products. Now they do because of the Mandalorian, but back in the day they didn't. It's orange, like the Rebel pilots,
which I love.
Very handsome Empire Strikes Back face on there.
Extremely handsome. You know, speaking of which, they are coming out with, Funko just announced all new Funko Pops.
Oh,
for
really?
the people who care out there, but they do have a Luke one from the
Really?
Mandalorian holding
Oh,
Grogu.
I did hear about that.
And I'm probably going to order it.
I was
gotta
gonna
have
say.
more Luke. I only have him in his X-Wing as a Funko, so
Yeah,
I
but
need
it's
more Luke.
awesome. I don't have any Luke Funkos. I only have the Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin that you got me.
This is true.
Which
Well,
are
those
like-
are the only two you really need.
That's true. And I have
Truly.
the Batman one. The Batman one you got for me also.
That's right. The Comic-Con 2019. No, yeah, 2019 limited edition.
What was that, like Batman's 80th birthday or something like that?
It was some celebration because my friend who went that year with me, he attended that panel. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for my collectibles.
you're welcome. Funkos are fun, and today we're talking about comforting fun. Anything Star Wars that just comforts you in a time of need.
Yes. It's what did we say last week? Self-care with Star Wars.
Yes,
I love that.
self-care with Star Wars, which, man, I was thinking about this prior to recording, and that could really mean anything in my book. It just depends on the time or what my feeling is, or if I'm in my feels, what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. It's like whatever different parts of Clone Wars can serve. Oh, Clone Wars. Oh, Freudian slip. That's my comfort. I don't
Oh, there you go.
certain parts of Star Wars is what I was trying to say can be a comfort just depending on not the endings. None of the endings are comforting.
No, not the tragedy that always seems to follow anything Star Wars, but
Yeah. Well, so many people have used it, and they say a lot of the actors who have met fans say that they've heard, Star Wars got me through a really dark period in my life, and it's because of the escapism, I'm sure. But
I was just going to say, it's a fantasy world that you can dip into and dip out of whenever you feel like it. Like, that's why we have the arts, music, literature, movies, anything like that. And I do find myself, I gravitate towards, the movies and the animations, but I also gravitate towards, like, flipping through various Star Wars books and, just reading a couple chapters here and there because I'm a big reader.
Yeah.
Or going to a comic. You gifted me some amazing comics. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Darth Vader series. Nothing about Darth Vader seems cozy, but it is to me because me. But, it's just something easy. Like, I need a half hour just to decompress before I have to move on to my next thing. I'll watch a Clone Wars episode. And I'll look up one of the more lighthearted ones, like Dooku Captured. What a mess, right? When Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku and Hondo are all just a mess at the same time together. That just brings me a lot of joy.
Anytime Hondo's there, it's hard to not feel joy.
This is true. You sit, and you and I, we prepare our tea, and sometimes you and I like FaceTime and just have a cup of tea together, and we always say, oh, we want to have a Clone Wars night together. And we used to, because there used to be a Netflix party when Clone Wars was on Netflix.
That was some of my favorite watching of Clone
Me
Wars.
too.
I would laugh so hard, and it was just a typing chat. It wasn't like a video chat, and like some of the stuff we would just type to each other would make me laugh so hard.
Yeah. And the minutes we would both write, pause, go back, rewind. We need to rewatch this scene because
We would
like,
rewind like so many times that we'd freak out the interface and it would freeze and we'd have to like relaunch it.
Yes. You know, and that's one of my complaints with Disney Plus, and hopefully, you know, if anyone's listening out there, they do have a reaction ability for episodes, but it's like emojis only.
Right. There's no like
and it's
community.
just no point. And I wish that there was a way to interact more with people who can hey, and maybe there is something out there that we don't know of, but I've done my research. I can't find anything that's, you know, third party or otherwise that allows you to do what the Netflix party extension used to do for Netflix.
Right.
For Disney Plus. So
and how great would it be? Because then we could actually do watch parties with like people listening to the podcast and like
well, now that you bring it up, we do have very loose, unformulated plans to do so on Twitch. So
that's true. Yeah.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah.
We're working out the details.
We want to start streaming on Twitch like maybe once a week, just as a hangout, so we can actually like have some like active conversations with people and like watch like Rogue One together and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be fun.
So what do you turn to? What's your go-to?
Well, I have gotten through some very hard times by using Star Wars stuff, and it sounds really weird, but it really had worked well for me. Like I had really bad insomnia for a long time, and I would put my laptop right next to my bed and turn it all the way down to the very last volume so you could barely hear it. And then I'd put a Clone Wars episode on, and that was how I would fall asleep for like a year.
Wow.
So like the sound of James Arnold Taylor's voice particularly is like very comforting to me because that was something that I listened to every day for a whole year. And I know it sounds crazy, but like I was having a really hard time and I could not fall asleep if I didn't have something. It was like so quiet my brain would try to hear it, but it was too quiet to actually hear, and then I would fall asleep.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. So the sound of like Obi-Wan's voice and the sound of Luke's voice also to me are like those are my comfort characters. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like A New Hope in particular is very...
I was gonna mention A New Hope. It's funny because Empire Strikes Back is my favorite, but A New Hope is the one that I always put on. Mm-hmm. Which that's interesting that we both. I mean, it's. Of course, we both said that. Because you and I are so damn similar.
I mean, but it's lighter. It's like a little bit funnier. It's not so depressing as some. So if you're needing comfort, that is the one that's like a space adventure.
Yes. Yes. And I just, a space adventure that I can disappear into.
Yeah.
Because that's what I need sometimes.
Well, and there's a lot of great humor in A New Hope that I always forget about until I'm rewatching it. You know, like the part with Han in the cell bay where he's like, everything fine, situation normal.
Yeah. Yes.
We need to make like a pin or a sticker that just says situation normal.
That's fantastic. Oh my God, it would be so applicable to so many things too.
Right?
In life. The irony of it all.
I do have a pin that says fly casual, which I think is hilarious.
Oh, I know. I saw that one. I love that one.
I love that
pin of yours.
But it could also be taken out of context as like some sort of like I fly casual, kind of like swinger.
I could see how that might be.
Maybe if it was like 1945, maybe not now.
I don't know. I mean, hey. I was thinking like I never thought of that, but you're right. You always bring up good points that I'm not thinking of. I don't know if it's because I'm not quick enough or what the hell, but
I don't know. I think it's because my
casual.
Brain
Wink wink.
Yeah. It's because my brain is an 85-year-old man, that's why. I'm a little too old fashioned for myself.
she says as she sips from her Luke Skywalker mug, which I love that, by the way. We can see each other when we record, even though we're not in the same room. We're doing it via FaceTime on our iPhones. And it's fun. You know what's cozy? This podcast. This has become you and I's escape, the thing we look forward to, the thing we can't wait to do to get to hang out together. And it totally breaks me away from, everything else I'm doing. I get to literally shut down everything for however long we decide to record for. And I get to hang with my bestie. I mean...
Yes. It doesn't get better than that.
No, it doesn't. And we can't be the only podcast out there that thinks that. I mean...
I'm sure not, but...
Yeah. We've met some... Okay, quote-unquote met. We've interacted and befriended a lot of Star Wars podcast people in becoming... most things Kenobi, if you will, and they're all like-minded souls, so it's kind of nice. I mean, we're all doing this because we love it, and it's our escape. So
yeah,
you could chalk the podcast up as a comfort.
Absolutely, I think and I listen to it, which I know people say is really weird when you listen to your own podcast, but
no,
I do because they're so fun to record, and we usually laugh so hard that when I go back and listen to it after it's edited, I hear stuff that I didn't hear, even though I was having the conversation. And I laugh my ass off listening to us. I just like...
Same, because I end up texting you about it like, what the hell were we doing? Like, I love it, though.
It's always so fun. I just... Like last week when I was talking about C-3PO and R2-D2 being little bitch droid... Totally forgot I said that. And then when I heard it in the recording, I laughed so hard.
It was a great line.
It was pretty funny. We need to point that on a pillow.
Oh, poor 3PO. We love you, 3PO.
You are...
bitch of a droid.
Such a bitch. Oh my God.
Would this be weird? But I have a game room full of things from my favorite fandoms. You know this. I love to come in my game room where my PS5 is and sit down and stare at my things and play my PlayStation with all my RGB lights on and stuff. Like, is that rather materialistic of me, or have I just created a safe... I like to think of it as a safe space.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's hard to say. Words are hard.
You need to take a sip of tea.
Yeah, I should. But this is like my little safety blanket room in my house.
Yeah.
You know?
I have the same. My office it's still kind of like a work in progress because we just moved in not too long ago. But I have my bulletin board full of pins waiting to be put up on the wall. I have like my closet actually has a bookshelf in it. So there's like books in the closet. There's my bookcase on the wall. Like it's a great comfort to me when I unpack my books and put them on a shelf and organize them. And then I even like to go back and like dust them and clean them, taking them down and putting them back up. And
I
somehow,
totally get it.
Yeah.
Having shelves of books, I don't care what kind of books, is like a wonderful thing, especially if you're a big time reader like both of us are. I love my book collection, and yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And especially like, I know a lot of things are electronic now. They're digital. You can get digital books, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is nothing better than the feel of a book in your hand, like a physical book in your hand.
Totally
be it
agree.
paperback or hardback. Love them both.
I do too. Especially the mass market paperbacks, they fall apart, after years and they get all yellow. But that feeling of that size, it's like, it means you've got something you can stick in your pocket or take with you where you're going, or like you're going on a trip and this is something you bought in the airport. I'm the same. And I used to work in a bookstore, and you basically just give your paycheck back to the bookstore that you're working at. Everybody I worked with had a to-read pile that was like 6 feet tall.
I believe it.
And they had a shelf for employees where you could put it on hold. And it was just like everybody's hold shelf was full because
I believe it.
You get access to stuff before it comes out. If you're shelving it, you can see. You're like, oh, I want this one. I want this one. Yeah, I have found Star Wars books that I didn't remember I had because I finally took them out of storage because I finally like own my own house and I can actually put things out. And I had like I think it was, I don't know if it was 20th or 30th anniversary book. That's like a coffee table book. It's huge.
Oh.
And now we're at like the 40th anniversary, whatever.
Yes.
And so I had forgotten I had that. It's a giant photograph book and it's so beautiful and has all these awesome stories and I can't wait to actually read it. It's been in storage for years.
Oh my gosh, you gotta yank that out.
I know. It's really
And then show it to me.
Yeah. Well, when you come visit, you're gonna love just like looking through all my crap that I have.
Oh, I'll spend a good amount of time. Like, don't mind me. I'm just here. I'll play with your dog while I look at your books.
She's so cute. Every time I get like something in the mail, she wants to smell it.
Oh, well, it has to meet her approval. That's all.
So I'll like let her smell the envelope, and then I take out the pin or the artwork, whatever I bought, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
The only thing she really freaked out with was the lightsaber because it makes a noise and it kind of scared her.
Well, yeah. I mean, a weapon for a more civilized age. She does not agree.
Yeah, her teeth are weapon enough. So.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific Clone Wars episode that you turn to? I guess you said stuff with Hondo, but is there anything like a go-to for you every time will always put you in a better mood?
A better mood. People are going to judge me.
No.
I really love the Point Rain. All the episodes that involve the Geonosis. You know, when they go down, like Anakin and Obi-Wan and the clones, they go down to the queen's lair, if you will. The whole arc is enjoyable for so many reasons, but I really love the episode where they go to Pantora, or not the moon, but the ice planet, Pantora, and they try to negotiate with the those little creatures. Mm-hmm. Well, they're not little; they're actually large. And Anakin draws the like.
Oh yeah, friendship.
Like I really like that episode. Plus, they look great in winter gear, and we get to see it so infrequently.
Oh my gosh, it's like the only time we see them in their puffer jackets.
Yes, and their ski goggles and their hats, and I am here for this because I am a winter lover myself.
Yeah,
as we all found out in the Planets episode when I said I would move to Hoth in a heartbeat. I mean, no, but I love that episode. And I love, I always watch this one. The Lerman episode where they crash land and Anakin's hurt, but then Ayla Sakura and Ahsoka and Rex and all them, well, Rex stays behind with Anakin, but they go to the Lerman village and like interact with them. And I really love those episodes. I always end up rewatching those.
Those are awesome. I love the giant trees in that episode.
Oh, I know, with the pods. Mm-hmm. Yes. The world building is, because the comfort of it all is all these different places that exist in this fake world that you get to revisit time and time again, know? And it's not always a great ending to an episode. Like, stuff is dramatically happening in each episode, but at least it's not real world drama, which can get very weary.
And as depressing as it is, sometimes it's not gruesome ever.
Yeah.
So, there are some fandoms where I feel like you're not entirely sure what you're going to get sometimes. Mm-hmm. And even Batman can be that way. Sometimes, you're in a certain, like, level of animation where the violence goes to a certain level. And then there's like the step up for Batman where it's a little bit more disturbing. Mm-hmm. Like the Joker movie is a great example. It's so good, but like, oh my God.
So good.
I don't know if I can watch it more than once. It was super depressing, but incredibly good. But with Star Wars, you know what you're going to get, like with that level of tension. It never like has pushed me to a place where I'm like, well, I can never watch that again.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that. Mm-mm. Although it's so hard to watch Rogue One knowing what happens.
But it's still so...
But it doesn't stop.
No, it's
me
like so
from watching it.
it's poignant and it's rewarding in the sense that like at least they accomplished the mission they
Yes.
set out to do.
And here's the thing. The beautiful thing about Star Wars, and the reason I think we, in addition to so many, turn to it for comfort, is that the hero achieves something and the good guys win.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much injustice in the actual real world. The good guys don't always win. In
Yeah.
fact, they struggle really hard in the real world
To even be heard.
Yes. And so it's nice to dip into a world where, damn it, there's a bunch of people that come together, they work towards a common good goal, and it works. And it's like, I think, especially in today's climate, we need that. We need to see it so that we have hope that
Yeah.
our heroes, you know,
Our
aren't
real
just
life
on
heroes.
TV. Yes.
Yes. Well, there are people who argue that that's part of the problem with our obsession with superhero movies, especially lately with all the Marvel stuff, is that like we're waiting for some hero to come save us. And it's like we need to step up and do the good work ourselves. And it's hard to get into that mindset when things feel pretty defeating and pretty down. So I don't know. I'm torn between that opinion because it's like, yeah, maybe it's too much escapism, but at the same time, like, I don't care. I need it right now.
Yeah, I don't care either. And the
I
thing is
need
with
that.
Marvel is the Avengers lost.
Yeah.
They collectively lost in Infinity War.
Yeah.
And that was the most real thing that, like, holy shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's a bunch of chemically enhanced billionaire, uber talented, uber violent. I'm trying to cover all of them in my head.
Right. Each Avenger.
Physically enhanced. Did I cover everything? Individuals that couldn't take down the bad guy, and then they had to restructure it, and then literally come back and try it again. But at least there's some realism in it. But if I had to sit around and wait for Tony Stark to save me, I'm not sure that I would ever. I'd be waiting for a very long time.
Yeah. But if you were waiting for Luke Skywalker to save you, it might not be such a long wait. But
No, it might not be such a long wait. But I'm not trying to hate on. I love Tony, but
who doesn't?
you know,
I guess there might be people out there who don't, but I love Tony Stark.
yeah. Well, part of it is because RDJ is so goddamn likable and so freaking good in that role.
Nobody else could play it. Nobody.
No.
He's the only one.
And he knows it.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's like
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is forever Luke Skywalker despite all of his amazing talents that he has
Yeah.
with the rest of his, recording and cinema career, if you will, between voice acting and, he's our Luke and he knows it and he's
Yeah.
happy to be that.
I mean, he owns that role. There are certain roles in Star Wars that like a bunch of different actors have played, but with Luke, it really has to be Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that with like Leia and Han also. I know they had, I don't actually know the name of the actor who played Han in Solo. I didn't really like that movie, so I don't really know.
It fell a little short for me. I liked some characters. I liked
Chewie.
Well, yeah, yes. Yes.
That was fun.
And Lando.
Yeah,
Spot
Lando was
on.
pretty great. That was awesome.
I'm just sad that they didn't we didn't get more Kira because like it was kind of a storyline that just like boop ended.
Well,
like,
they had the big surprise ending with Maul.
with Maul and like
Meh.
boop, that's it. Okay.
It flopped so hard that everybody was just like, don't care. Don't care what the sequel was supposed to be. Yeah. It was very flat. Like, you gotta have Harrison Ford's delivery. That's what makes Han Solo. So I
Yes.
yeah. And definitely Han and Leia are comfort characters too.
Oh, I was gonna say Leia for sure because I mean there's nothing I love more than in the middle of winter, cuddled under some blankets with a cup of hot cocoa,
Yeah.
and I turn on I turn on Empire Strikes Back, and she's just yelling and irritated at everyone, and I think, she's my soul sister. Like, I feel so great to know there's another woman out there just like her, you know?
It's so very gratifying.
We are not alone.
No. Well,
even if I'm alone on my couch with my hot cocoa and my blankets, I feel at one with Leia.
You've got your spirit animal.
Yes.
Well, Empire Strikes Back is like my holiday movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that your every year holiday
movie?
It
is. I wrap gifts for Christmas sitting on the floor of my living room, like watching Empire Strikes Back every year. It's like tradition because it's snowy.
Yeah, yes. I think that's why I get my hot cocoa and transport myself to Hoth, because why not, right?
It never fails, too, that then I just, like, move on to Return of the Jedi and then start A New Hope after that. I always watch it, like, out of order.
There is no preferred order when it comes
Not
to...
really.
I mean, because it's whatever you're feeling, right? It's like, what am I in the mood for today? Like,
yeah.
Am I depressed? I'll put on Rogue One. Like... Am I feeling dark? I'll put on the Cadavo arc. Like,
oh my God, yeah. You want your soul crushed? Watch The Lawless.
Yeah, yes. It's funny you said your holiday. Mine is a totally different fandom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My obsession since I was a child with Northern Exposure. Hands up if anyone out there listening knows about the cult classic television series from the late 80s, early 90s, Northern Exposure.
Yeah.
Every December, I will run through seasons 1 through 4, basically.
Nice.
1 episode a day, if I can do it.
It's hard to find. I've tried to find it because my parents watched it. They used to record it on their what the hell was it? What were those machines called that had like the VHS tapes? VCR.
VCR! Oh my God, we're boomers!
I can't believe I forgot that. They haven't existed for a really long time.
What are those machines called?
I know.
I love it.
How does this phone work? How do I... Wait just a minute. I've got to pause it. What's my password, Leanne?
We're not that old, are we?
No, we're not that old.
We're not.
But still, like,
Anywho.
When was the last time you touched a VCR? It was probably in 1992.
Probably, and I was probably watching the original trilogy because that's how I watched it back in the day.
Same. Oh, man, I had my own VCR for that. Anywho, my parents would record Northern Exposure on their VCR and watch it. So I remember it, but I didn't watch it myself. And I want to because I'm all about snow and mountains and cold weather. So,
well, what's funny is it was actually filmed it's kind of right on the Cascade Ridge in Washington State in the United States.
Oh, okay.
And I went to the location several times, and I lived out my childhood/teenage fantasy of being. The town looks exactly the same.
Really?
They kept Joel's office. They kept KBHR radio. We're so sorry if no one out there knows what we're talking about. It's a quirky, fun television drama / comedy, and that's what I watch every holiday season.
That's adorable.
For some reason. I don't know, but...
That was like back in the 90s when they used to do, quote unquote, the lineup on TV, where it'd be like Tuesday night lineup or the Friday night lineup. It was part of that stuff, yeah. Oh, man. Trip down memory lane.
I know. Memories are comforting, though.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I should say some memories. Some
can
make me sad. Because I get really nostalgic, and nostalgia makes me sad. Everyone yells at me and tells me, why does it make you sad? It should make you smile. And it's like, well, because it makes me smile, it makes me sad. Like, listen, I like Anakin Skywalker because I am Anakin Skywalker. I am a mess of emotions, and I can't figure any of them out.
You're moody AF.
I'm just a jumble of emotion, that's all.
Yeah.
I don't kill younglings, though. Never have, never will. Just stating that for
goodness.
For the good of the order.
Because then I'm going to be the one standing there going, I can't watch anymore.
No, I will never do that to you. Don't worry.
Thanks.
My space twin.
I don't want to be sent to have to stop you, Lee.
No, don't worry. And you won't chop off my limbs.
I won't.
Please don't chop off my limbs.
I can't.
Although I
even
wouldn't mind
stand-
having a metal arm. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, I was like, be careful what you wish for.
I wouldn't mind having a man with a metal arm. There.
Bucky or Anakin, if you're available.
Bucky or Anakin, yeah. Who would reach me first? That's a comforting thought. Hey. Shit.
Oh, my God.
So let's turn it over to you as we always do. What is your comforting part of Star Wars? Is there something you always end up turning to when you want to be comforted, if you want to escape, if you just need a little something for self-care? What is your Star Wars self-care moment?
Yes. And if you have a comfort character, somebody that the sound of their voice is very calming and soothing to you, yeah, we'd love to know all that stuff.
And we covered multiple fandoms as well, so maybe it's not just exclusive to Star Wars. It could be other fandoms. We'd love to hear.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Definitely.
Last week, we talked all about the clones, and we asked you to tell us your favorite clone or your favorite moment that happened with the clones. And it seemed to be pretty split across the board between Cody and Rex being everyone's favorite clone. But, not to be outdone or to be forgotten, a resounding amount of support and love came for our favorite clone, Clone 99, who we know as the spirit and soul of the clones, if you will. And I think between the amount of responses that we saw across all our social media platforms, 99 is definitely everyone's favorite clone. Also, don't forget, next week is our 20th episode, and we are going to celebrate by having a question and answer episode driven by you, our listeners and fans. So if you have a question, please visit us on our Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or our website, mostthingskenobi.com. Submit the form there. It'll get right to us, and we will answer it if it's not too invasive.
We've reserved the right to not answer any question we deem inappropriate.
There you go.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Most Things Kenobi, the podcast. Remember to follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast player. Plus, you can always follow us over at mostthingskenobi.com.
So until next time, my dearest space twin, may the Force be with you.
Always.